Hey guys, I am Megesh Shenoy and today we would be going through leveraging variables in Mulesoft Composer. Now, this is about me. I am Megesh Shenoy. I am a Salesforce developer with 2 plus years of experience, a Salesforce certified and a Mulesoft certified developer, a Mulesoft mentor, and an active member in Salesforce Trailblazer Community Forum. Before using variables in Mulesoft Composer, let's first understand what variable means. Variables are placeholders in a program where you will store all the necessary data and manipulate the data stored in them. Now, variables basically act as a building block of your computer program. Now, on basis of which you will perform some set of actions in your computer program. Variables can store primitive data such as boolean, integer, double, float, etc. and non-primitive data such as arrays and objects. Now you can think arrays as list of data and objects as simple key value pairs. Creating variables was not easy in Mulesoft Composer as they were created dynamically. What this truly means now, you all may be knowing that Salesforce provides out-of-the-box connectors such as Salesforce CRM connector itself, Marketing Cloud connector, Slack connector, MuleSoft RPA connector, and so on. Now, whenever we use these kind of connectors in our composer, MuleSoft Composer creates variables that acts as an outcome of this connector. Passing the data between two different elements in a composer flow was not very flexible as well. Now, keep this point in your mind and I would give you a demo about this particular point. Now, everyone are like when we can create variables, right? When we'll have that kind of flexibility. So, yes, MuleSoft Composer now supports creating variables, right? By yourself. Now variables can now be created manually by the user. Yes, you can now create variables, but there are certain restrictions as well. As of now, variables can only store primitive data such as strings, numbers, boolean, date, and date time. So whenever you click on the plus icon on your composer flow, you have this kind of screen pop up. Now over here you have to click on the variable option. When you click on a variable option, you have two kind of actions available, right, for this variable connector. Now we have create variable and update variable. Now in this create variable, we have certain data types available, right? As mentioned, whenever you create variable in Mulesoft Composer, it only supports five kind of data type, that is string, number, boolean, date, and date time. Now I would give you a demo about how we can use variables in a Mulesoft Composer. Before that, I would give you a small demo about what it was like using before using variables in your Composer flow. Now I have built this small Composer flow which triggers on every 15 minutes. You can now trigger your Composer flow in intervals of 30, 45 minutes, and the list goes on, like 7 days or 30 days as well. If you all may be knowing that there are two ways you can trigger Mulesoft Composer flow. The first way is using connector, right? What does this mean? Now, whenever an action is performed in an external system, Mulesoft Composer would basically poll that system to understand that an action was performed, right? Based upon what kind of action you have set, and then accordingly your composer flow would be triggered. The second way is using a trigger. Now over here as displayed, you can trigger your Mulesoft Composer flow in intervals of 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, one number, 7 days or 30 days as well. So once you trigger your Mulesoft Composer flow, I am retrieving a particular account record from my Salesforce org. So over here, I have simply used an account ID which equals value for the demo purpose. Now I am retrieving a particular account record. You can set conditions however you want in this connector. So once an account record is retrieved, so if we can also see that I am using a newest feature which became available for my Salesforce connector. So I am only retrieving the first record, right? So when we use this, instead of returning me a list of records, my Salesforce connector would only return me a single record. So because of which I don't have to iterate over the list of record, right? Now, once I have retrieved my account record based upon certain conditions you have set in this step, you can now retrieve the opportunity records, right? Now over here, if you can see, I have set a condition that I want to retrieve opportunity records that are present under this particular account record. So once I have retrieved the opportunity records, in this step, I am looping over the list of opportunity records. And then I will push a message to my Slack channel informing my sales team that you have to concentrate on these kind of opportunities, right? That are currently open or the currently open Salesforce org under this particular account. Now, what is the bottleneck over here? So if you can see that instead of pushing a message all at once, it is continuously pushing out a message, right? One by one. So if you all know that there are also certain task credit points which are allocated to you based upon your, the pricing you have paid, right? Or based upon the tier you have purchased. Now here we can see I am pushing out a data or pushing out a message to my Slack channel, right? One by one. So how can I club this, right? So we can also take a scenario over here. Uh, my sales team are complaining that they are currently receiving the message one by one, right? And it is not friendly to them. So how we can use variables to push out a message all at once rather than sending out a message one by one, right? So before that, I will test this up right now for you. Let's So if we can see that my composer flow has successfully executed, so it retrieved an record from a Salesforce org, retrieved a record. Now if we can see, it also retrieved the opportunity records that were currently present under this particular account record, and we can see there are three kind of records retrieved over here. So what I do, I iterate over the list of records and then send out the message to my Slack channel, right? In my Slack channel, informing my sales team that see, hey sales blazers, and then the details about the opportunity record over here. Now, as we all know, my sales team have complained that they are not happy with this, right? Because this is continuously bugging them again and again. How we can use this and how we can send out a data or a message in my Slack channel all at once, right? Using variables. So over here, I have created another Mulesoft Composer Flow, but this time I have used variables in it. So I am doing the very same steps over here, retrieving my account record based upon certain conditions and using the newest feature on my present for my Salesforce connector, that is only retrieve the first record. Now, once I have retrieved my account record, I am then retrieving the opportunity record, and based upon that, what I do is I create a variable. Now over here we can see that I have created two variables, that is number of opportunity and Slack push message, right? And as displayed, there are two kind of actions available, that is create variable and update variable. So right now I am creating two variables. You can create how many variables you want. So we can see I can just go on and then the data type I can set it out. So in a single element, that is variable element, you can create multiple variables of different data type. There is also another way of creating variables, right? One is using a visual editor and the second one is using a JSON schema. So what I would show you is I can use add variable and I can see for demo. So we can see in the JSON schema, it has dynamically named my variable over here. You can also set this up by yourself. Like we can do this and then demo, right? So we can see the valid JSON schema. So there are two ways to create variables. One is using a JSON schema, another one is using a visual editor. So if you can see and apply, I can I can see the variable over here. Now for what I would do is manage variables and remove this. So once I have created variables over here, so in my Slack message, if you can see that already set some value or data in it, right? So here says Blazers, cheer up. Please go through the opportunity details, right? So based upon that, we can also set the data or some values during the time of creation as well. And the number of opportunity I have set it up as 0. So once I have retrieved my opportunity record, I created a variables that I can use it while iterating over the list of opportunity records. And now what I am doing is I'm updating the variables. So I'm using two different update variables. So we can see in the for each loop, I'm iterating over the list of opportunity records that were retrieved in this step over here. So over here, after that, what I am doing is I am updating the variables. Now I can see that I am doing number of opportunity plus 1 over here. Why? Because I am also keeping a count upon how many opportunity records are currently present under this account. So once I have done that, I do +1 and then I'm again using an update variable over here. So in this you can see I am then doing so what we can do is we can also open a custom expression editor, right? In this what I'm reusing the Slack push message that is storing the value that was changed in my previous iteration, right? Then I am adding more data in it, right, or more values in it. So it basically I am appending the data or the value in each iteration in that variable. So you can see an opportunity number and then the details about that opportunity, right? So once I have done this, now once I have iterated over this record or over this list of opportunity, then I am sending this variable as an input the message option in my Slack connector. You can see Slack push message. Then for betterment to understand this more, I'm also placing some bot name over here, which is open opportunity info bot. And once you have done this, what we will do is we will test this up. So let's test this up and wait for it for my composer flow to be triggered. So we can see that my Mulesoft Composer Flow has triggered and it was able to retrieve the account record based upon the conditions you have set. So once you have retrieved the account record, I am then retrieving the relevant opportunity records. So we can see it was able to retrieve all the opportunity records that was present under that account. Then I created a variable, so you can see number of opportunities set as 0 and then a Slack push message, and we can see yes, it was able to create variables. Then I'm iterating over the list of opportunity, right? So once you have iterated over the list of opportunity, I'm then incrementing the number of opportunity counter by 1 in each iteration. So it is for the first iteration 1, then second iteration 2, and so on. Then in my update variable, as said, I am appending a value in my Slack push message variable in each iteration. So once we have done this, then I am pushing the data, all right, to my Slack channel all at once, right? So I will show that to you as well. So we can see here says Blazor, cheer up, and then all the data in just one simple message. So before that we can see that in each iteration it was sending out the data one by one. So hey sales Blazor, hey sales Blazor. So we can see, so instead of sending a data one by one, I can club the data and send them with all the help of variables. Now as we can see that there is one added advantage when using variables, right? So in this composer flow I can see in each iteration and sending out the data, right? But what's the issue over here? Now as mentioned, whenever you purchase license of Mulesoft Composer, now based upon the pricing you pay, there are certain number of task credits available, right? Now we can see with this approach you would be very much likely to consume the task credit points very fast, right? But in this approach, while using variables, you are very less likely to hit that task credit points or consume the entire task credit points. So this is all from the demo part of it. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Thank you for watching.